Hello everybody, welcome to Honestly Reddit, and today we're going to be talking about your favorite troll, Boomer. Boomer is a slow-ish character, ranged, that has a little bit of a mix of everything for every single type of playstyle. Something up close, something far range, some traps to lay, which we're all going to talk about. But first we have to talk about two different things. First, we've got to talk about the history. So, Boomer was just a young little troll where he decided he loves to blow shit up. He liked blowing up sheep in general. For whatever reason, he just loves blowing the fuck out of them, which is, kind of rude. Pause. Um, he got drafted into the Troll War, which let him blow a bunch of shit up. Wow! His dreams come true. But there's only one thing that kind of stopped him that wanted to be away from the Troll War, which was the, conquest, evil type shit. And he didn't line with that, so he left, and he started saving people from the conquest, and that's how he became a Skyland. Pretty easy story to follow. He just likes blowing shit up, and he wanted to do good. Hooray! Last thing I want to say is that if you want to see your Skylander on here, please just leave it down in the comments. I just pick by random, but if I do see a lot of love for a certain Skylander, I will pick it, so make sure to just keep dropping it down, and eventually I'll come around. So let's get into Boomer's moveset with his first two moves. First off, we have Dynamite Toss and Troll Smash. Dynamite Toss is exactly what it sounds. It's you throwing dynamite. It has the explosive property where you can hit multiple enemies if they are close enough together. And it is solid projectile. You can throw it pretty quickly. The only thing that's not fast, though, is Boomer himself. And that's where Troll Smash comes in. Troll Smash is a really up-close attack that pushes away enemies and kind of stuns them for a little bit. It will stop them from doing their attack. It's fast enough to the point where if you have just like 3 enemies, you can probably just keep using the move over and over and you won't be able to get a hit. But when it comes to way bigger groups, you really can't do that because it has to be so close up in their face. And it is solid. And I find the duality of both of them to work pretty well together. Just create that space and then start throwing dynamite. It's a first two. I like it. The next two, Dynamite Fuse Fake Out and Bash Smash, give us that sweet Spyro's Adventure taste of damage upgrades. Damage upgrades were laced around in Spyro's Adventure, and it's kind of sad that Boomer really didn't get any other versions to kind of help him fix that up. But with these two, the only one that I can really talk about in depth is going to be the Fake Out, because now it allows you to hold your dynamite down, or hold the button down for your dynamite, and let it bounce for a little bit to hit enemies. It's like fine, I guess. I don't really see a practicality into it just because our dynamite is going to be locking onto enemies. Maybe it was a lot better in Adventures. I don't know how, like, if there was a lock on back then. It's been so long since I played those games. But at least in Imaginators, it doesn't really matter because, again, the lock on, you're probably going to hit most of your attacks anyways. It's probably just better to just keep spamming out dynamite than trying to make sure that one lands. So yep, and then Bash Smash is good. We like a little bit of damage. We do like the further knockback. It's nicer. I just wish it had a bigger hitbox, just because, again, it's a really up-close move. If it just had a little bit of a bigger hitbox, I think that itself would have just made the move better. But for the first two, again, it's just that Spyro's Adventure feel. So we can't get too mad about it, but definitely nothing crazy. Last two, we have Troll Bomb and Triple Bundle Dynamite. Triple Bundle Dynamite is just a damage upgrade, so we don't really have to talk about anything for that. But we can talk about the Troll Bomb, which is our last move that we get to learn. And it is, in theory, a cool move. In practice, kind of worse. The Troll Bomb is a trap. You place it down, you kind of let the enemies walk into it, you can knock enemies into it with your Troll Smash, and I find that aspect to be pretty good. Now, it's not very effective, right? It does solid damage, but again, it not being very effective causes it to be a little bit lackluster. And we can only place one for now. Just only being able to place one also kind of hurts, just because it would be nice to kind of place them around. It's not like enemies are really attracted to the bombs, but it does do solid damage. And again, you can try to do like that little trickery where you hit it with the Troll Smash, bounce them into the bomb, and I find that pretty cool. But in game, trying to do it like that doesn't work all the time. But it's a nice one, and hopefully the upgrades later can hopefully make it just a little bit better. Onto the top path with Demolition Troll, We have Bombastic, which is having bigger bombs, and Troll Bombs Away. We can now have up to 6 bombs. Wow, that is a insane amount of bombs to have within just one upgrade. They really didn't fuck around with that one. You would think it would be like 3, you know, maybe 2. No, they went up to 6. And I find this to be pretty nice because you can do this kind of like chain right here with your bombs, and it guides enemies through, and it's a really nice upgrade for the bombs. And the bomb just being bigger and having a bigger blast radius and doing more damage in itself is way better, because having just that one little puny bomb isn't always the greatest. And our soul gem is actually going to help out this even more, but we won't talk about it for now. We'll talk about that at the end. But I definitely like these upgrades. These actually feel like upgrades. Wow. And even though the damage upgrade was there, I can mine with it just a little bit, just because they did just give it a bigger blast radius, and I find that to be nice. So, hey, good job, Boomer. Top path, not disappointing. But let's go see about that last one, which is going to deal with our projectile. Last for the top path, we have an accident waiting to happen. And this upgrade, too, is just a really good one. This upgrade allows for our bundle of bombs to just shoot out into 3 separate ones, not only doing 6 damage. That is still nice chip damage, and even creates a bigger radius for bigger enemies. I didn't mention this before, but I definitely think Boomer's downside of him is that he can't really handle big groups that well. Just because with his Troll Smash, it's not really a big area, right? So when you try to hit somebody with that many enemies, it's a little hard, and you're still probably going to get hit. So now the better path for at least him, in my opinion, is this top path, because it gives you a lot more bombs, which if triggered right, are just going to have this chain, and it's just going to kind of seep all the enemies through. When you have bigger bombs and you have like those little 6 coming out of it, that's still a lot of chip damage, especially because he can throw out these projectiles pretty quickly. It's not like a slow projectile at all. He is nicely able to kind of throw them off. Again, with the push too, you can also just push out enemies off the edge, and the bombs now do that, and I feel like they kind of do it a little bit better, just because you're kind of able to guide them through it, still do a bunch of damage, and even if they don't fall off, you could hit them with the Troll Smash right after, and then launching them off to their doom. I really like this top path. I'm hoping the bottom path can at least feel the exact same way for the bottom one. I don't know though, because this top path, probably my favorite so far. I liked every single thing they had in here. It honestly did upgrade everything. For as far as the Venture character, I'm decently surprised. Now we're going to talk about Clobber Troll, which is with his smash attacks, which we have Havoc Smash and Stupefaction Smash. These two are obviously helping the smash attack, and the Stupefaction one is just a longer lasting, stun. It's stunning them. And I don't really know how to feel about these two, because I feel like the smash attack is supposed to be used as a tool to get away. And the Stupefaction does that really well, right? It's going to cause them to be stunned for a while. You can run away as far as you want. But the problem is that I find Boomer to not be a person that you really want to be up close with, right? You can stupefy anybody and you can just keep spamming the smash attacks, I guess. It is a good move in that sense. But is it the funnest? No. And I personally feel like his just normal smash that you just get from the primary already does enough. If this were to increase the range of how far his smash can be, maybe I would feel a little bit different. But since the range is still very, very tiny, and you kind of still have to be very, very close to everybody, I just find it that getting rid of our bombs, our 6 bombs, even having a bigger, and getting away of the dynamite splash damage is a lot worse just to want to have the Stupefaction on our smash attacks. Last up is Megaton Charge Super Smash. Jesus, what a mouthful. This is going to allow us to charge up our smash attack and do a pretty decently damaging smash attack. It's going to do up to 100 damage. Wow. And again, it's cool, I guess, but look at that range. What you're going to have to do is stupefy him first and then charge it up, because when you charge it up, you actually don't stupefy, it's just a large launch. And I guess it's fine. I still find this to be a lot weaker than what the top path had. It's a nicely damaging move, I won't lie. But again, I think the top path dealing with the bombs, because the bombs alone themselves aren't too great, and I feel like just kind of having those upgrades would be very nice. It is nice for bigger enemies like that rat to just kind of stupefy him and just do a bunch of damage quickly, but I think his dynamite could just as fast as it is, I think you could probably do up to 100 damage already just by doing that instead of charging up a move. But that's what I feel. So personally, top path is the way to go. Bottom path is all right. I think the opportunity cost is very large between the two. So the balancing of both isn't too great, but what can I say? Now for the last move, we got Troll Bomb Boot. And I find this to be a very good soul gem, not because of its premise. Its premise is that you can kick around a bomb and play a little bit of soccer with these enemies, which is, you know, pretty cool, pretty fun, having another projectile to launch. I find it a little weird though, just because, you know, the bombs do end up behind you. If the bomb ended up in front of you, I think this would have been a lot better. But it wouldn't work that way, so it's nice, right? But the reason I find this soul gem to be so good is because now anytime an enemy will touch the bomb, it will explode. It self-detonates. And I find that to be very good. If you remember before, the bombs would not do that. You know, they would be on their own timer, and you just had to kind of keep the enemies there until it explodes. Now, is it likely an enemy will probably hit the bomb? Maybe. Depends how, like, you're tracking them, right? If you're just running right in a straight line, obviously they're going to hit it. But if you don't, they probably won't hit it. But it is nicer to just kind of have that self-detonation, just to kind of get them to blow up faster, because then you can place out even more bombs, especially if you have the 6. I went back to the previous path, I put on the 6, and just having a bunch of bombs in one, and then just having them constantly blow up because an enemy touches them, and then placing even more, and then having more enemies cause up to blow them. Yeah, it's a good soul gem. It does exactly what I want to do. It doesn't feel super powerful to the point where, like, oh, I can just spam this over and over. But it's a nice addition to his moveset, and honestly, it just seems like one that you would probably have in the path, but I'm fine with it being a soul gem. So, hooray! I like it. I enjoy it. It's good. And with that, we have reached the end. So now it's time for me to give my honest rating on Boomer. After looking through all of his bombs and all of his gadgets, I want to give him a 4 out of 5. I personally find him really fun if you go with the top path. I definitely think he is a nice character. I think he has a mix of everything. I feel like his moveset is pretty intuitive, so you can use everything in it. The reason that it doesn't go any higher is, for one, I find his Troll Smash to be a little bit lackluster than the other two. I don't find myself using it as much, but it definitely still has its uses. I still use it to time, right? It's nice. I enjoy it. And the other reason that I'm not going to give Boomer anything higher than a 4 is just that I think his bottom path isn't really that worthwhile, and I definitely think that if it was a little bit better, maybe if there wasn't as many things on the top path, he could have had a little better score, because I like everything being equal. I like to have both paths feel like there are something useful for the person. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 5. And honestly, off of all the ones that we played so far for Surprise Adventure, he might be the funnest one if I can come to the top of my head. I've done so many at this point where I can't remember which ones I've done for Surprise Adventure, but that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you want to see your Skylander in the next one, please just leave it down in the comments, and I will hopefully pick it up in the future. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave down who you want to see, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.